What happens when 100 isolated dev teams push code to a single repository at the exact same second?
Unless you have a master plan. Welcome to the engine room of enterprise scale.
When 100 isolated development teams push code to a central repository at the same time, you don't get rapid innovation, you get systemic collapse. This program board serves as the central visual map, displaying team schedules and feature dependencies in a single integrated view. If one development team deploys a feature that breaks another team's architecture in production, the entire organization's velocity drops to zero while they untangle the mess. At the enterprise scale, the true limiting factor for software delivery is the difficulty of managing cross-team dependencies. To solve this, the Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe, relies on a specific cadence-based event, program increment, or PI, planning. Over these 2 days, 5 to 12 teams define their collective mission for the next 8 to 12 weeks, locking their schedules together to ensure every feature is released on the same timeline. PI planning functions as the physical point where high-level corporate strategy meets technical execution. The organizational construct that binds these 5 to 12 teams together is called the Agile Release Train, or ART. To understand how the ART maintains its rhythm without devolving into chaos during PI planning, we have to examine the management matrix operating behind the scenes. This diagram shows the 3 management roles governing the Agile Release Train engineer, product management, and business owners. The release train engineer owns process mechanics, ensuring continuous workflow. Product management prioritizes the feature backlog based on product vision. Business owners provide the economic reality that justifies the engineering effort. The real-time interaction of these 3 roles during PI planning filters abstract corporate strategy down into committed, risk-assessed technical objectives. A PI planning event will fail on day 1 without rigorous content readiness and backlog preparation in the weeks prior. Preparation requires a strict boundary of responsibility. Product owners manage the micro-level sprint backlogs for their individual teams, while product managers govern the macro-level backlog for the entire Agile Release Train. This funnel illustrates how work is filtered. Solution management feeds large epics into the top. These drop to the product management tier, breaking into actionable features. Finally, they pass to product owners, shattering into uniform user stories for teams to code. During this filtering process, the product manager acts as the voice of the customer, ensuring every feature serves a verified market need. To rank these features, product managers employ a framework called Weighted Shortest Job First, or WSJF. It assigns a numerical priority by dividing the cost of delay by the job size. This framework forces stakeholders to quantify their assumptions. By requiring a shared set of metrics for cost of delay, it creates a level of transparency that makes it more difficult for political favorites or gut feelings to override economic value. By continuously refining the backlog through this lens, product management ensures the engineering engine never starves for actionable, high-value work. As you can see in this typical SAFe workflow, Day 1 of PI planning begins with 2 sessions, business context and product and architecture vision. Business owners and senior executives use the first hour to present the current market state, exposing the teams to direct competitive pressures and financial realities. This executive briefing provides the mandatory macro business context. Without it, developers lack the information required to make smart trade-offs during their breakout sessions. Product management then takes the stage to outline the specific product vision for the next quarter. This presentation details upcoming milestones and unveils the top 10 prioritized features pulled directly from that refined backlog. System architects follow immediately after, outlining the technical constraints and the architectural runway required to support those new features. With the technical constraints and strategic priorities established, the responsibility for defining the path forward shifts from the leadership presenters to the engineering teams. Complete transparency at the executive level is the prerequisite for technical autonomy at the team level. This digital program board is the focal point of the afternoon on day 1. The teams move into breakout sessions to draft their individual iteration plans, filling these empty rows and columns. The release train engineer facilitates this phase, actively patrolling the breakouts to monitor progress. The RTE does not dictate technical solutions. Their sole objective is to enforce the process and manage the flow of information between traditionally siloed engineering teams. Teams calculate their execution capacity and begin slotting user stories into specific iterations based on the prioritized features they were just handed. Quickly, blockers emerge. Team A might discover they require a specific API built by Team C before they can proceed with their own feature. The RTE facilitates a Scrum of Scrums meeting, bringing team representatives together to resolve these cross-team dependencies in real time. The teams then physically map these dependencies on the program board, ensuring the entire train can clearly see the execution bottleneck. The release train engineer's ultimate utility is forcing teams to convert hidden, unspoken assumptions into visible technical contracts. By the end of day one, draft iteration fans often reveal capacity bottlenecks and dependencies that the teams cannot resolve on their own. This triggers the management review. The RTE forces business owners and product managers to sit down, review the draft plans, and make immediate trade-off decisions regarding the overall scope of the increment. Moving into day two, the train addresses the hazards identified during planning using a structured risk management protocol. This protocol relies on the ROAM framework. Management and the teams must categorize every identified risk into one of 4 buckets: resolved, owned, accepted, or mitigated. Roaming forces strict accountability. It extracts risks from isolated spreadsheets and embeds their visibility directly into the final delivery plan. The climax of the entire event is the confidence vote. Every participant in the Agile Release Train rates their confidence in the finalized plan on a scale of 1 to 5. Because the plan is built on the actual capacity limits of the developers and is negotiated face-to-face with management, the resulting commitment is grounded in the team's actual ability to deliver the work. The final outputs are committed PI objectives that are directly tied to measurable business value. Agile purists frequently critique SAFe and PI planning, arguing it introduces bloated corporate hierarchy and departs from the lightweight flexibility of pure Agile methodologies. But at the enterprise level, when you have hundreds of developers modifying the same codebase, autonomy without strict alignment leads to chaos. By defining management boundaries, product management for value, the release train engineer for flow, and business owners for strategy, PI planning ensures that hundreds of individual engineers apply their collective effort in the exact same direction, driving the enterprise engine forward.
If you like this video, then like, subscribe, and share with your near and dear people P10. Let's grow smarter together.